All right, what is going on, everybody? And welcome back to The Garage Closes at 9. This is now episode 12. As you can see, it is just me and Jonah for this episode. We're without Andrew for episode 12. He is off doing some other personal matters right now, so it'll just be the two of us today. And at the time of this episode, the NBA Finals just wrapped up. The Oklahoma City Thunder just won the 2025 NBA Championship. A lot to unravel there. We're going to be talking a lot of basketball today, like we usually do. Maybe mix in a few games, but it's really talking about kind of what's been going on in the NBA world. Kevin Durant trade went down as well over the weekend. So, yeah, we have a lot to get into, just me and Jonah. Any opening thoughts here, Jonah, as we get going with this episode? We got a lot of info to cover.
I think it's no coincidence that when Drew's pick lost the Pacers and my pick, the Thunder won, all of a sudden we can't get Drew on the pod. No one can find it.
Interesting.
When, when,
Interesting, yeah.
when the Pacers go home, you can't find Drew. So,
You think
crazy.
this is an intentional matter here with Drew
Yeah,
not being on the episode?
I think he's dodging the smoke because I had a lot for him. So he didn't want to show up.
So, like we said, the Thunder did win Game 7. Unfortunately, Tyrese Halliburton went down early in the first quarter. We don't know necessarily the final severity of the injury, but many people think it was an Achilles tear. So we're hoping the best for Tyrese. But yeah, so first question I just want to ask you, Jonah, and I know you're going to be biased with this because it was your pick, but were you a little nervous when you had three straight threes to come out in Game 7?
Was I nervous? No. But did I think it would be a close game? Yeah, for sure. Especially when Halliburton comes out aggressive like that, then the Pacers look like a completely different team. But I knew that it was just kind of early jitters from OKC. I think they were a little nervous playing in front of their home court in a game 7. But was I nervous? Absolutely not. I knew we were going to pull it out.
So I want to give you a stat real quick, and I just want you to say it. Is it a coincidence? Is it intentional by the NBA? Going into Game 7 in that final series, okay, the Thunder were 0-3 in the series when Shea had under 10 free throws. Can you guess how many free throws he had in Game 7?
Um, I don't think he was at the line a whole lot until the end. I'll say 9.
He had 12 free throws. So the stat stayed consistent where they went 4-0 in games where he had double digit free throws. They were 0-3 in games he didn't. Do you think the NBA had any? Is it just a coincidence? Is it just the way that the Thunder play better when he's getting to the line because he's more aggressive? Or is the NBA making an effort that they want the MVP to possibly, be next in terms of
No,
being the
there
champion?
there is no conspiracies. I hate NBA Twitter for that. They're just out there playing. And the fact that Shea probably leads the NBA in drives, like just off the top of my head, I'd imagine he's up there in drives per game. And he initiates contact. He's extremely tough to guard because if you put your hands on him, he's gonna initiate that contact. And he does sell it at times, but I think he definitely deserves most of the calls he gets, and it's not rigged or anything like that. Shea deserves to shoot all those free throws. I've become a Shea fan. This is crazy. I used to.
I was first on Shea. You got to admit that. I was first on him, okay?
Okay, I was hesitant on him because at the time he was just scoring a lot of points on an average team, and we see a lot of that on in the NBA. And I think that with this championship, he's really elevated himself to another level where he's in the conversations with the Jokic, Giannis. I think you could say he's past Luca, just because Luca hasn't won MVP yet,
Interesting.
or won Finals and a Finals MVP. So I think Shea deserves all the respect in the world right now.
So he's not a foul merchant. He
No,
draws contact like
no.
all the great players
You
do. He
want to know
goes to
who
the
a
free
foul
throw line.
merchant? When you say foul merchant, I think of more of like a Jalen Brunson, to be honest. Jalen Brunson is
I don't disagree with
more
that.
absurd to me than Shea.
I don't disagree with that. I don't. I think Brunson's a great player too. But I will say this: I was first on Shea out of the three of
You
us.
are not. I don't
Yes,
think
I
so.
was
You weren't saying he's all this.
absolutely.
You didn't think they were going to win a championship. You didn't pick them.
But we were talking about this 2 years ago. About talking about Shea.
Yeah,
We were talking about this 2 years ago.
I wasn't watching OKC 2 years ago when they were winning like 30
And
games.
I told you, Drew was trying to say, and I know Drew's gonna try to back this up because he's not here, but Drew's trying to say that his game is boring. You remember Drew saying something like that?
I think so. That
Okay,
sounds
and
familiar.
I and even Drew said all he does is get to the free throw line. But great players do that, okay? And I just saw a lot of maybe it doesn't seem as like evident as like the MJs and the Kobe's, but it seemed like Shea has somewhat of a killer instinct. Maybe not to it's so evident as like an Ant Edwards, but it seems like the will to win is it's something that Shea has. I think he can take over a game at any time.
I think one of
He's
my
proven he can make others better. I mean, look, he's the youngest team in the league to a championship
Yeah, I think one of my favorite things just from watching Shea, especially in the finals, is it's bad for the NBA, but just on an
for
individual
I
like
don't yeah.
basketball standpoint, the fact that his emotions stay even keeled, you never know whether he has 30 points or 10 points. He just is the same player. And it's not good for ratings because he's not screaming at people's faces. He doesn't even argue with the
That's
officials,
my point.
surprisingly. He just
That's my point. It's
he
not
just
as
hoops.
evident to everybody that he's got that killer instinct because you could see it with Kobe, with MJ, even with Anthony Edwards. But I think his play definitely speaks that. And that's why I mean, look, he won an MVP, won the finals with the youngest team in the league, finals MVP. It was honestly a great season, but was it good for the NBA that the Oklahoma City Thunder are possibly the best team in the league for the next 3 to 5 years?
No. And
They got first round picks this year too. Like I mean, they're set up.
yeah, but that's what everyone says after every finals. That's what we thought about Boston. That's what we thought about Denver, Milwaukee. I think
I
it's
think the
gonna be
difference with
tough.
this though, I think their best players you have a little more team control though in terms of contract and money because look, we said that about Boston, but you had to keep in the back of your mind that if for some reason it didn't work with Boston, they were going to have to switch it up because of the salary cap that they're on, right? But a lot of their young players are on under team control and aren't due for a big payday at least through next year. And then you can have some conversations. But I mean, they're on team friendly rookie contracts right now for the most part. Chet, Williams. I mean, Shea's gonna. I don't know. Did he already get a bag? He's gonna be getting a bag,
Okay, I
but
think I think he already got paid.
yeah, I think he did too. But I mean, I think that makes it a little easier for Oklahoma City Thunder, and they have all these first round picks that they can trade for like the next 27 years. It seems like. I mean, Sam Presti did
All
an
from Paul
unbelievable
George.
job. That was my next. That was the next thing I want to get into. So I want to just I think it's time that we can resurface this trade. Okay. And just keep in mind, me and Drew will remember that you were all for this trade to the Clippers because Paul George was going to be teaming up with Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, I thought that was a ring.
It was for the Thunder.
I
So
was
let's.
convinced.
I want to resurface this trade. And I just want you off the top of your head to tell me if there's a worse trade in NBA history. NBA history. When I tell you this trade, so the Clippers they got Paul George.
Okay.
That was it. Paul George. And the Clippers gave up Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, Danilo Gallinari,
Eh.
the Clippers 2022, 2024, and their 2026 first round pick, Miami's 2021 first round pick, Miami's 2023 first round pick, which was protected, a 2023 first round pick swap with the Clippers and the Thunder, and then a 2025 first round pick swap. So
Off the top of your head, do you know who those picks turned into for the
I
people that
don't off
we
the top of my
drafted?
head. That would be something to look at.
But
I don't
I
have it
don't.
off the top of my head, but I do know that we can look. I mean, I don't think obviously Chet was that pick. That was a Thunder
No,
pick, I think.
I feel like it
But
was like a
what
Jalen,
about Jalen Williams? Could be a Jalen Williams.
the good one or the bench one.
Well, I know the bench player was a second round pick, and
Yeah.
it doesn't look like there's any first round picks or second round picks in that trade. But
I mean, I don't think that trade, like at the time, was that bad. It's what, like 5, 6 years later after that trade.
yeah,
So I think that at the time, Paul George was a superstar, and pairing him with Kawhi Leonard was a no-brainer decision at that time, especially Kawhi Leonard coming off a championship. Like Clipper fans thought we were about to take over LA and just run the West with two elite two-way wings. And at that time, Shea Gilgeous was a unknown. All those picks, you never know what's going to be. Danilo Gallinari's not like that. So I don't think at the time it was a bad trade, but looking back, obviously, I think OKC ended up winning that trade.
So I can confirm with you the Jalen Williams, who was picked 12th in the 2022 first round, that was a Clipper pick.
That was a Clipper pick. I
That
mean,
was a Clipper pick.
that's also
That was
development. Who knows if Jalen Williams was drafted by the Clippers? Who knows if he turns into this player? It's hard
very
with
true,
that.
but he did. He did turn into this player. And
One
Paul
thing,
George and Paul George ain't even with the Clippers anymore. He might get shipped out of Philly.
one thing I love about watching OKC, I love the way Jalen Williams plays. He reminds me of like just someone at you play open gym with, and they're just like getting buckets. Like his game is so street ball oriented to me. Just the way he plays, the way he scores. You could tell he's just played a lot of like open gym and just played a lot of basketball. He's not a drill type player. He just goes out and hoops off instinct and just gets buckets. So I love watching Jalen Williams.
Look, he's very very good. And I think that you realize you're not defending the Clippers here. You're making a worse case for the Clippers in this
That's
trade
fine.
right now by what you're saying.
That's fine. OKC
Um,
deserves all the love in this pod. Shout out me for picking them. And Drew, I'm sorry. Shout out Halliburton. Hope he recovers. But I think we can honestly say this was his best chance to ever win a championship, unless he leaves Indiana. Because
I mean, it's
I don't
easy.
think they're
It's
coming
easy
back.
to say that.
I don't think they're
It's
ever
easy
going
to
back.
say that now. Easy to say that now,
This was a
but
really weird year in the East. You had Tatum's injury, Dame.
I
I don't
know, and these were going to be, and unfortunately, that was going. This is going to carry into next year. I mean, you're not
yeah.
going to see Jason Tatum. You're not going to see Damian Lillard. You're not going to probably see Tyrese Halliburton. Like
Hey, if I was a betting
the
man, I'm
yeah.
putting a lot of money on Orlando to make the finals today. Just looking at the outlook of the
You like
East,
that Desmond Bain trade? You like that Desmond Bain trade?
I like it just because with Tatum out, now with Halliburton out, the East is
They gave
wide.
up a lot
No, they didn't.
for Desmond Bain. I thought they did.
Desmond Bay's pretty good. But with
He's pretty
him,
good. But four first round
Paolo,
picks. Was that what it was? Was it four firsts?
I don't know. But I think they have a chance to make the finals. I wouldn't be shocked. I'd pick them
Why?
over
Why is
Cleveland.
that?
I would pick them over
You
Cleveland.
think Paolo? You think Paolo is that good?
I think Paolo, he doesn't have to be that good. I think the East is just super weak. Outside of Cleveland, you don't know what Giannis is gonna do, depending what Giannis does. Like
Yeah,
who
and if
else
he
is there
stays
in the
If
East?
he stays in Milwaukee, then I mean they're not
No,
going anywhere right now.
with no Dame.
What is Boston gonna do? I mean, are they? I mean, apparently changes are gonna be made. You don't have Tatum next
Yeah.
year. Is Jalen Brown possibly gonna get traded to shed some money? Is Drew Holiday gone? I think that is very likely.
Yeah, I don't think you get rid of Jalen Brown. I think you have to let him average 28 this year and maybe make a first, second team All NBA and just kind of tank this year until Tatum gets back. Find some good role players that are cheap. You might have to get rid of a Drew Holiday. I don't know if Porzingis is a long-term answer just because of his health. So kind of toy
Yeah.
with the roster, make some trades, find some good role players, but keep Brown and Tatum as your core.
You tell me this. Contavious Caldwell Pope, Cole Anthony, four unprotected first round picks, and a first round pick swap. That's worth Desmond Bain. Look, he's a very good player, but
I think if you can make the
is he
finals, it's
worth
worth
all
it.
of that?
If you can make the finals, it's worth it.
But
Absolutely.
why does this? So you think them getting Desmond Bain didn't just make them that much better? It's also the fact that the East is getting that much
Yeah,
worse. I
the
mean, what
East.
about the Knicks? The Knicks aren't in the conversation.
Uh,
They were right there.
then I think New York, Cleveland, and Orlando are top three in the East. And if I'm Orlando, I'm banking on Banchero taking that next step. He's what, 22 years old, and he's like a budding superstar. I think I'm banking on
He's
him
very good.
taking a next leap.
You think there's any ounce of Philadelphia having a turnaround season? The rumors are going to run it back with those three one more time with Embiid, Paul George, Tyrese Maxey.
My
Those
heart,
are your boys right there, bro.
my heart.
Just keep in mind, they
I
were
honest,
24-58 this year.
I honestly forgot about Philadelphia.
I mean, you think there's a chance that they can run it back with a similar roster and go from 24 wins to back to the expectations of what they were expected to be?
I
I
think
mean, they
there's
were
a
expected to
chance.
possibly be a top three team in the East this season.
I think there's a chance. If I'm Philadelphia, this is my last go around. I'm putting everything into this year, and if it doesn't work, I'm getting rid of Embiid and I'm starting over. Because if you can't do it this year, then then you're never gonna do it. So I'm putting everything into this year. And if at the All-Star break we're still under 500, then I think I'm making a blockbuster deal for and getting every draft pick in the world, and someone will take Joel Embiid.
So let's go back on the Indiana real quick. So I'm gonna get into the Halliburton injury. I have something kind of funny that I wanna read off to you, but let's just go with a hypothetical. Let's say he was 3 for 4 from three, Tyrese Halliburton.
Uh-huh.
Oklahoma City called that timeout. Indiana's feeling himself, the entire team. And it seemed like Tyrese kind of had that swagger going. I'm not asking you the outcome of the score, but what kind of game seven performance were we going to see from Halliburton? Was it going to be one of those games, or is he just got out hot and we'll see? But or did you have that feeling like
I
he
think
might he might put up a big game here?
he probably could have got 30. I would say he probably would have got 30, and I think the game would have been a lot tighter. But then I also don't think TJ McConnell does what he does. I don't think Benedict Mathurin has does what he does. So I think the game overall would have been closer, but I still think OKC would have pulled it away by 5 to 10 points at the end.
So you're sticking with it no matter what. It was
No
Oklahoma's
matter
to get the
what,
win.
this is OKC's ring. It's not a Mickey Mouse ring like I've seen on Twitter. It's not unvalidated. I think at the end of the day, the healthiest team usually wins, and they stayed healthy all year. They were the best team all year, and SGA has
Well, I wouldn't
proven
say they were
himself.
healthy all year. I mean, they were out
But their
without
depth,
Chet for 50 plus games,
and they were still the
and they
best
missed
team.
Caruso for 7 to 8 weeks.
Nah,
Caruso's so good, man.
I
He's
love
so good.
I love Caruso. One of the
By the
best role
way,
players.
let's. I want to talk about the NBA Finals performance from Miles Turner, free agent to be,
Mhm.
and he only averaged 11 and 4 in those finals. Did he lose out on some money this contract? Because I mean, people think he could be a 30 million a year guy,
No, someone's
or is
still
it just someone's still going to give him the
yeah,
bag?
someone's absolutely still gonna pay him, and I think it'll be Indiana. He's been rumored to be a
You think?
Laker the past 6 years, every
Yeah, he
time,
has.
and
Yes,
it's
he
never
has.
happened. I think he loves Indiana the way he talks about it. He was their longest tenured pacer, I believe. He's been on that team forever, and I think he's gonna stay there.
You know that he had 5 blocks in Game 7. I'll give him that.
He's
But he
not,
put up 9 points and 2 rebounds
but
in Game 7.
he's not that guy. He's really not. He's just a good big. Like people
Yeah,
expect him to do more than he's just a solid center. That's all he is. He's not a
but
superstar.
is that worth 30 million a year?
Yes, because it's not a lot of them. There's not a
All
lot of
right.
those guys. The Lakers wish
So
they had one of those guys.
they might. We're not talking about the Lakers today though. Okay, we're staying away from the Lakers.
Wait, I
Um,
got a real quick question for you, Vinny.
yeah,
Today, the day after the NBA season,
yeah.
who would be your pick to make the finals next year? Both conferences,
Right now,
right now.
I would have Oklahoma City probably going back. I have to see what happens in the West. I mean, a lot can happen. I mean, obviously, we haven't gotten the Kevin Durant trade yet. That's gonna. I want to get through the finals talk, and then we can kind of talk about the offseason. But just off the top of my head, Thunder. I mean, the East is so wide open. Um, we can resurface back to this in a month when we have some
Yeah,
free agent
absolutely.
moves. But right now, I'd probably
Yeah, you're not
I'd probably go New York.
New York.
That's just right. The way too early predictions. But in a
Yeah,
month, I won't be saying this. But with just the way the rosters are, I would probably go with the Knicks because I think it would probably be between them and Cleveland, and I think the Knicks would match up better in the 7 game series against Cleveland.
yeah. I'm not
I'm
a
not,
Cleveland believer.
but I mean, but hey, the Knicks don't have a head coach right now, so like that
Oh, that's
because
true.
they had a defensive identity with Thibs, and that'll be interesting to see what they do. Um, I still don't know if I agree with that decision. I mean, I know he he rides those players into the ground. I know he plays them 40 plus minutes a game, but you have to respect that he does have somewhat of a good track record of getting teams to the playoffs and competing. And whether they win a series or lose a series, it seems like every series that a Thibodeau led team is in, it's always a competitive series. It doesn't seem like they're just going out in 4 or 5. It seems like obviously I'd have to look at the actual numbers, but it seems like every series they're in is like they have a chance, whether they win it or not. So
Sure.
I
That's
think eventually he might get an assistant job this year, but I think he'll be a head coach again.
yeah,
I
for
think.
sure.
Yeah.
He, he's great with those scrappy teams because
He is.
he's just gonna play the starters the whole game and just preach defense.
Right. Right.
But
But were the Knicks really a scrappy team?
yes. They're
But they
all
had some.
Villanova guys. None of them are like
I know
blue chip guys except for Karl Anthony Towns.
Carl Anthony Towns.
Except for him. Everyone else made out the mud.
It's just hard for me. You're right. It's just not watching him. It doesn't seem like Brunson is a Villanova guy, but
Bro, he
because
was
he's
what
so
was
he
it,
was so.
second
But he
round
was.
pick?
No,
Second
he
round pick,
was
right? Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely he
He
was.
stayed like 3, 4 years in college. He
No,
wasn't
he
like
was. No,
yeah,
I know that. No, I know. It just doesn't seem like that now. I mean,
yeah,
he the second he got to New York, it's like
took off.
overnight he changed. He took off. Yeah. Um. Did you did you see did you see what Skip Bayless said yesterday about Tyrese Halliburton?
No, I didn't. What does
So
Skip
off the
have
top
to
of
say?
my head, I'll just before I get into it, what is your honest opinion? I know we've talked about him briefly. What's your honest opinion of Skip Bayless
I
about how not necessarily the analyst, the analysis he has, but just like the person. Like, does he value feelings? You think?
no, 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 no.
No, not at all.
Skip is all 30 years in the media. The only people he's like emotional about is Michael Jordan and Tim Tebow and LeBron in a negative way. But everyone else,
Yes.
it's like if you get hurt, he don't care if like he don't care about feelings. He's just matter of fact.
All right. So keep that in mind. And I'm going to give you some live tweets that was happening during Game 7 yesterday. I'm going to give you some timestamps. And the timestamps I'm going to give you is all local Pacific Standard Time. So West Coast time.
Mhm.
5:17 p.m., just a few minutes into Game 7. This is what Skip Bayless had to say about Tyler Halliburton. Man, Halliburton looks so hurt. That calf must be killing him. He's just limping up and down the court, isn't he? And this was right after he hit 2 threes.
Mhm.
Okay. Follows that up 2 minutes later, 5:19 p.m. The Pacers brilliantly took the big game pressure off of Halliburton, who routinely no shows by planning the injury excuse that the media swallowed whole. So he tweets one more about just the Pacers not turning it over. And now here comes the big one at 5:26, 7 minutes later. Okay, now Halliburton looks hurt. Hope it's not too bad. Okay. And then he goes, unfortunately, that Halliburton injury looked like more than a calf pull. So he was trying to just portray that the Pacers were making this all up. Okay. And
Mhm.
that the injury wasn't real. And this was just a media stunt. So that Halliburton does, when he folds in game 6 or 7, because he had that bad game 5, remember? Okay. Came back, had a good game 6. This was all just a pull so they don't look bad. Doesn't make Tyrese look bad. And then the guy probably tore his Achilles 5 minutes after he said that. What are
Bro,
your thoughts on that?
that's what Skip Bayless does. And you have to keep in mind Skip Bayless, I think he's from Oklahoma City. So
He is.
he
He
was
is. He
he was
is from Oklahoma
he
City.
was
He's a
rooting
Thunder
hard.
guy. He
He
is a
was
Thunder
rooting
guy.
hard for the Thunder. And when Skip is against you, he's gonna look at every little thing and just kill you for it. So he's gonna be like, "Oh, Tyrese is exaggerating the injury. He's trying to get the sympathy. He's gonna pull that angle. He's gonna find every angle to diminish the people he doesn't like. He's been doing it for years.
Right.
You can see it with LeBron. Anytime LeBron goes down, Skip tweets something. Oh, here we go. LeBron trying to be
Yeah.
dramatic and get
Right. Right.
So that's who Skip is. If he doesn't like you, he's gonna find any narrative to discredit you.
So let me just say, after all of this happened during the 5 o'clock hour between 5:15, 5:25, okay, like literally in a matter of 10 minutes, all of that went down. The comment sections were ripping him, saying like, "You still have time to delete this," like blah blah blah. You don't have to say these things. Um, an hour later, does this should he even have done this? Like, does this warrant a tweet? In all capitals, he said, "Hate this for Tyrese Halliburton. Achilles as suspected. Similar injury to Kevin Durant suffered in the finals." And then he just throws a little backhand comment in there. Although Kevin Durant had been out for 9 games with a calf pull, like still throwing some shade, like
That's
he was actually
man,
hurt.
that's who
Like
Skip is. You can't expect anything less from Skip, especially when he's from Oklahoma City. He's all emotional in that game. He's pulling hard for OKC. I haven't seen. He's not on any TV show, is he? He's just tweeting right now. There's his
I
own
think
show,
he has his own show,
but
yeah,
it's
but
not on
he's not
TV.
on. No,
It's just on
Fox ran him out.
YouTube.
Fox
Yeah,
Sports ran him out,
Skip.
dude.
I get, man, that's sad to see Skip go out like that. He deserves better than this type of ending.
You think he deserves better, huh?
Yeah, Skip deserves better than this. He should, Stephen A should let Skip on first take for this last NFL season and just like announce that this is Skip's last time. I think that's when Shannon's supposed to come on, by the way, too.
Yeah, I know that, but you got to understand that ESPN have to give the man a contract. I don't think Skip's just gonna accept a guest
Bro, but
appearance.
he'll be getting paid more than what he's doing on the YouTube.
You don't know that. We don't know the contract negotiations
I
for
guarantee
Skip for
I
the show.
I guarantee it. Skip could ask for a couple M's just for a football season.
Yeah,
Do you know what kind of
you
ratings I
think?
would do?
Yeah, but why is ESPN gonna pay him that?
Because he deserves it. And he's the founder of
They
ESPN basically.
ESPN has been like in the process the last like 3 years of letting people go. They're not gonna bring in Skip Bayless for millions.
I mean
They
that's
just brought in Shannon Sharp for millions, and look how that turned out.
yeah, I want to see Shannon said he's coming back in football season, so I want to see if
What he
that's
says,
true.
yeah, but it doesn't sound like it doesn't sound like Stephen A. was on board with that.
Yeah. Well,
That's his show.
Stephen A's trying to set up his presidency run, so
That's true.
he's not
That's
trying
true. He
to
may not have much
be
time to
tied in
talk
with
about it.
that.
Uh, but just back on the Skip, like, should he have said that? Like, do you think you think, in all honesty, he actually thought Halliburton was hurt? Do you think he's like, this is clickbait? Like, is he like Stephen A, where I think Stephen A, as ridiculous as he sounds sometimes, he knows what he says is gonna get traction, and get
Yeah, I think
eyes. Do you think Skip's like that? Because to me, sometimes Skip, it seems like he truly believes what he says. I don't always feel that way with Stephen A. But it's like Skip thinks he's just so smart that he's right no matter what.
yeah, I think Stephen A and Skip are complete opposites in that. I think Stephen
Right.
A is knows when he's being clickbaity. He knows what's
Yeah.
dramatic. He knows what's gonna get the headlines, and he'll like embellish a lot of what he believes. Whereas Skip, I think Skip is genuine, and he believes he knows more about sports than anybody. I think he's just being honest. I think Skip is just an honest person, and he's crazy, but that's what makes him him. Whereas Stephen A, I think it's
Timing
act.
the timing, I mean, obviously it sucks for Tyrese Halliburton, but just like it couldn't have been worse for him to say that at like 5:17 and then at 5:26 the guy is down probably for the next year.
He's done that in the past. I'm trying to remember. Someone got hurt, and he tweeted something crazy, and it got like millions of views because he thought like they were faking it. I'm trying to
Yeah.
remember. It was not too long ago, but yeah, that's who he is. He needs to
And I
step
don't
there.
know. I I didn't watch it. Skip put out a like no lie, a 22-minute video.
I seen
This
that.
wasn't a podcast.
I kept scrolling.
Yeah, so yeah, he put out a 22 clip, like an emotional video because my Thunder won. Maybe he put in that video a sorry to Tyrese Halliburton. I don't know.
I doubt it.
I'm not taking the time to watch 22 minutes of him just saying whatever he's gonna say. Um, so if he did mention the Tyrese Halliburton, please let us know, and I'll let it slide. But that was just like terrible timing. I was just like,
Yeah.
really? Like you couldn't have timed it worse.
Yeah, that's who he is,
So
man. Shout
yep.
out Skip. Let's talk
So
KD.
KD, how are we on time? We good for time?
Yeah, 8 minutes.
All right. So Kevin Durant. Let me just pull up the trade, full trade. Just give your quick thoughts on it. Just not necessarily the trade itself. Just what is it? Him to Houston.
I
What do you
think
like? What do you don't like?
go him going to Houston, what I don't like is I don't think it's a situation where he's ready to win a championship. And I think at this point in his career, that's what he should be striving for. But honestly, I don't even know if that really matters to him. Like in everything he says, he's just like trying to hoop in like a good environment, just get better as an individual player. So I don't know if that's number one on his list, which is maybe why Houston was on that list. But if I'm Houston, I can't believe they gave up Dylan Brooks. So go ahead and say
Why?
the
Why
trade.
is that? Why is that?
That's that I think Houston won this, not Houston. I think Phoenix won this trade just because you get
Really?
absolutely you get a
Because
young
of Dylan
uh
Brooks?
because of Dylan Brooks. Dylan Brooks is one of the most underrated players in the league.
So you
You
don't think he
you,
has anything? You don't.
you
What are
and
you gonna
Drew
say?
hate these type of players. I love a Dylan Brooks. I love a Draymond. I love a Alex Caruso, a Lou Dort.
Oh, I don't put
These
don't
guys
don't
are
put Lou
all
Dort.
these guys are
Don't put
all in the
Lou
same
Dort. Don't put
category.
Lou Dort and Alex Caruso in
You
that
you
conversation.
need
Stop it.
these type guys to win. No one thought Houston was going to be good, and then Dylan Brooks went there, and now all of a sudden they're a number two team in the East.
You don't
Dylan
think
Brooks is
you don't
a
think
winner.
Ume Udoka taking over that team was the reason why who got
I think
that
that's part of it.
Celtics team to the finals?
But I'll tell you this: if Dylan Brooks was still in Houston, I think Houston is my pick to make the finals. But now that he's gone, I don't know if they're making out the first round. I think it
You
makes that much
are
of a difference.
you are overhyping the Dylan
Bro,
Brooks wave right
you
now.
need that defense, that great. Imagine him with Kevin Durant. Bro, now they're not winning. That's not you
What?
need Dylan Brooks.
How are you gonna say that Dylan? I mean, Dylan Brooks he's never made it past the second round. Alex
Bro,
Caruso is a two-time NBA champion. Okay,
okay, but if you had Dylan Brooks instead of Lou Dort or Dylan Brooks instead of Alex Caruso, I think they still win the championship.
I don't know if I agree with that at all. Actually,
Yes,
I would
they're
take
the
Lou. I'm
same
taking Lou Dort. I'm
over
taking Lou
over
Dort, and
Dylan Brooks.
I'm taking an Alex Caruso. If I want to win a team,
Alex,
yes. If I want to win a championship with a team,
no,
yes, because
Alex Caruso
Dylan
doesn't
Brooks is
even
also
start.
demanding way too much money. Way too much money.
Alex Caruso's not even a starter. Dylan Brooks has started in Memphis, and they were a great team when he was there, and then he went to Houston. And now they're
Nah, they were a good team.
hey, don't
They
sleep
were
on
a good
Phoenix.
team.
Don't sleep on Phoenix now that Dylan Brooks
I'm,
is there. They're going back to the playoffs. I promise you that.
bro, I'm knocked
I
out with Phoenix,
promise you. Hey, mark my words. Dylan Brooks and Devin Booker are going to the playoffs.
bro. What are they get? Are they going to trade Bradley Beal? Or are they going to buy him out? He's not going to be a Phoenix Sun anymore.
Bro,
You
they've been trying
you
to
have
trade
no
Bradley Beal for
center.
a
There's
year.
no center in Phoenix.
Trade Bradley Beal for a center.
No, he has no value. $51 million a year for that? No, no one's doing that. You
Phoenix
remember
is
my
on the
most
playoffs.
overrated player in the league? Do you remember that? It was Bradley Beal for good reason.
Most underrated Dylan Brooks is on that short list. He is a great player. He's a winner. If he was on the Lakers,
So
you guys would
let
make
me
the finals too. He is a
stop it.
needle mover. Whatever team he's
No,
on,
he's not.
he
Stop it.
is.
He's a
He's a needle.
locker room cancer. That's what he
No,
is.
he's
All right.
not. Bro, Houston was great with him. Great team
They
for
were good with him. You can't say a team that goes out in the first round is a great team.
bro, they lost to Steph Curry.
Let me tell you this: you take Dylan Brooks off that team, they're still making the playoffs. I
No,
think
they're
if you
not.
take Yume Udoka off, they're not. That's the reason. He's a very very
Bro,
good
Dylan Brooks is
coach.
the reason. Dylan Brooks is
Oh,
a he's a winner, Vinny. You can't just look at the box score. Watch how he
I'm not just looking
defends.
at the box score. I
Watch
see the
how he
guy get ejected and
and he
lead the league in
scores.
techs.
And he scores.
No,
He's a very good shooter,
no,
great
he's
defender.
a can't. You're throwing around very good too much with him right now.
Bro, I love Dylan Brooks. He's a very good
Okay,
player.
let me say this. Let me give the full trade details. Kevin Durant to the Houston Rockets for your boy Dylan Brooks,
Yep.
Jalen Green, the number 10 pick in this year's draft, and 5 second round picks that Phoenix can use in trades now because they had no draft capital to trade. Okay. So they have some pieces to come back. I think it was a good trade for both sides.
No.
I'm not going to say that Dylan Brooks is the reason they won the trade. I don't
Bro,
know who won the
Phoenix,
trade. I don't know. I think it was a good trade for both. I don't think this makes the Rockets a championship contender. I don't think they're the favorites in the West. I don't think they're better than Oklahoma City as of right now. They're going to be very good again. Don't get me wrong. Um, I still don't know Kevin Durant at this age. Is he leading a team to a championship? I
no.
don't. I'm not convinced. He
He
hasn't
just
proven that.
he just downgraded his star. He was with Devin Booker, who is
I
better than
I know
KD.
that there's not a single player on Houston beside Kevin Durant now that's better than Devin Booker.
Exactly.
It's a little bit of it's a deeper team than the one in Phoenix. I mean, he's going to a better team overall. But with that said, with him leaving Phoenix, I don't think Phoenix is a good team right now. I don't think putting Dylan Brooks there. Do you think? Hold on, I'm just gonna think about this. They won 36 games this year, Phoenix.
Uh-huh.
You just traded your best player, and you're saying now they're making the playoffs because they have Dylan Brooks?
Yes, and the reason I say that is because I think they're gonna make it. Bro, they have like six shooting guards. They have Brooks, Booker, Jalen Green, Bradley Beal, Grayson Allen. They have all kinds of shooting guards. So they're gonna trade like two of them. You need a better point guard, and you need a
You
big
have
man.
no point guard.
They're gonna make some trades, but I think Phoenix is going to the playoffs. That's my early season prediction. Phoenix is a play-in team that makes the playoffs, at least.
Oh, so now they're a play-in
No,
team
but
that has to get
they're
in
gonna
the
be, they're
playoffs.
in the playoffs. They're in the final eight. They're playing in the playoffs. That's what I'm saying. Because Devin Booker is that dude, and
Devin Booker's very good.
With
He's
Dylan Brooks'
very, very
culture,
good.
I think
You
they're
don't
gonna
think
have
there's
good
any world
defense.
where Devin Booker? You don't think there's any world where Devin Booker now requests out? He doesn't
No,
want to be there anymore.
no, not this year. You can't give it a chance. You gotta believe, Vinny. That defense, Dylan Brooks brings
I'm not
culture.
convinced. I'm not convinced.
I think I wouldn't be shocked if Phoenix is better than Houston after a trade that Phoenix makes, but I wouldn't be shocked.
Really,
I would not be shocked at
they were
all.
number 2 in the West this year. Are they worse now?
I don't think they're
I don't
better.
know if they're worse. I don't know if they're
I
worse,
don't
but I
think
don't
they're
think they're like
better.
miles better. But I mean, no, sorry,
You
I don't
lost,
think they're miles better, but I don't think they're worse. Yeah,
bro, with the number 10 pick. That is enough. You did not need to include Dylan Brooks in that. You got Jalen Green and the 10th pick and all those picks. Are you
that
kidding
just
me?
shows that Dylan Brooks doesn't have the value you think he
That's
has, Jonah.
crazy. Phoenix
He
fleeced
doesn't.
Houston. They fleeced Houston.
So Bradley Beal is expected to be traded or bought out by the Suns via John Gambadoro, okay, who's a radio talk show guy for in Phoenix. So we can
They're gonna
expect
trade
him to
him.
not be there.
Yeah, they're gonna trade him.
I don't know if he has trade value. He might get bought out. He might get bought out. But okay, so with the you're saying you think the Suns are going to make the playoffs. That's your bold early, way too early prediction.
Yeah,
I just want
I got
to know
Suns in there.
what their projected, most likely if the season started today, what their starting lineup would be. Okay, Devin Booker, Jalen Green, and Dylan Brooks.
That's a very good backcourt.
Who's your point guard?
Book.
See, he's not. You're not going to get the best out of him. Then your best player is going to be playing out of position to start it off. Okay, and then your front court is Ryan Dunn and Nick Richards. That's
Yeah,
where you're at right
bro,
now.
that's what we're gonna package Bradley Beal. And we're gonna get us a four-man and a five-man.
You make it sound so simple. Like
It is simple. Bradley
Devin
Beal is a
or
20
Bradley
point
Beal doesn't
scorer.
have he doesn't have that value for 50, yeah, 20 points for $50 million. You know how many guys can score 20 these days? With how
Bro,
spaced out the floor is?
we don't need Nikola Jokic. They just need like a Miles Turner lever, like that type player.
I don't see the Suns. I could be wrong. I don't see the Suns paying 30 million for a Miles Turner.
Okay, but look at Houston's team. Fred VanVleet, okay, probably past his prime. Uh,
Amen Thompson,
Amen Thompson, very good,
Jabari
young
Smith,
extender, no jumper, Jab-
Jabari
J
Smith.
good backup. He's not a starter. Old Kevin Durant, and I love Kevin Durant, but come on now. And then Şengün, great center.
Okay,
But
I was like, what are you gonna say about Sengun? Because he's very good.
he's a top five, six
Granted,
center.
I agree with you. I don't think Houston's a finals. They're going to the finals. I don't. I'm not. I'm not disagreeing with you on that.
So then I
I'm just
think,
disagreeing. Dylan Brooks is not like.
bro,
I don't think Phoenix was thinking this is the centerpiece of the trade. You know what he was? He was the contract to match salaries. That's what Dylan Brooks was in
bro,
this
we
trade.
just talked about this trade. This is a reverse of the Paul George for Shea and all those young guys. This is an old star for a young one in Jalen Green and all kinds of draft picks. So I think Phoenix in the long term is gonna kill this
So
trade.
now you're backtracking. Now you're saying that this trade is all Jalen Green and picks. I thought it was Dylan Brooks.
No, Dylan Brooks is the immediate. Houston should have kept them if they wanted to win
No,
a championship.
he's the contract salary filler. That's what he is.
You could have put Fred VanVleet. Why didn't you trade Fred VanVleet instead?
Because I think Kevin Durant would rather have Fred on the team. Because let's face it, Kevin Durant even admitted it. He had a lot to do with this trade. He wanted to go to Houston.
Yeah, but I don't think
I
he
don't
knew
know
Dylan
why,
Brooks.
but he wanted to.
I don't think he thought this was gonna be a starting five. There's no way. I don't believe it.
Why I don't know about that. Kevin Durant I think had a lot of pull here. But why did Kevin Durant pick Houston? He had his
Lifestyle.
destinations. He seemed very happy yesterday. Did you see he found out at the
Yeah.
Fanatics Fest?
I think the lifestyle of living in Houston, I think it's not too much pressure. I think he
So you
can
don't
just
think this is the championship? That
no,
wasn't it.
no, not at all. This is like that was like
Is he
eight finals.
happy? Is he content with those two that he won in Golden State?
Yeah, I think he's just trying to hoop like unpressure now. Like he's trying to be good.
He could have
But
done that in Phoenix.
no, because Phoenix you weren't making the playoffs. He's just trying to be good.
According to him, though, according to him, Phoenix wanted him out. They didn't want him there.
I don't think that's true. I think Kevin Durant is very
I don't
sensitive.
know. So what do you think about this? As reported, teams who pursued KD and did not get him, so teams that were in negotiations with Phoenix, are expected to pivot to Sacramento to Malik Monk and DeMar DeRozan.
DeMar DeRozan is not. No disrespect to DeMar DeRozan. We've seen
That's
this
an LA
for
guy, man. That's
years.
an LA guy.
He is not a winning player in 2025. He shouldn't be your one or two option. He's just not that dude. He hasn't been, and I think expecting him now at age 35, however old he is, to do it is just absolutely crazy. You should not do that. I'm not mad at Malik Monk as a role player, but
Yeah,
don't give up a lot of assets for DeMar DeRozan. Don't do it.
I
He's
would
not
agree
that
with you.
guy. He's
I
not
would
that
agree with you.
guy.
I would agree. I like DeMar DeRozan, but I would agree with you that going into 2026 season, I don't think
Yeah.
he's gonna move the needle. Just like Dylan Brooks is not gonna move the needle with
Dylan
Phoenix.
Dylan Brooks, I'd rather have Dylan Brooks than DeMar DeRozan. Tell you that.
That could be a conversation if you're because I think they're both under the for them to be on a really good team, they both have to be role players. I don't think DeMar is going to win you as a number two option or a three option at this point in his career.
Dylan Brooks,
I don't think. Look, DeMar DeRozan's a very good player, one on one, very good player. I just don't think his game translated to the shift of where the NBA went with the NBA with the three ball.
and you know whose game
His game
did?
didn't.
Dylan Brooks. That's why he gets paid the big bucks. He's arguably
Be careful now. Be careful.
Dylan Brooks might be the best 3 and D player in the league.
Wow.
Name me a better one.
Wow.
I'm going off the top of my head. Name me a better 3 and D player. It used to be Klay Thompson. I don't think anymore. Name me a better 3 and D player than Dylan Brooks.
You just like putting me
I'm
on the spot.
telling you.
I know he's not.
Dylan,
I know he's not.
he might be the best.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is. Dylan Brooks is the best 3 and D player in the NBA.
Can I? I'm not gonna look up best, but can I just look up 3 and D players? It's just like I'm
Just
blanking on three and
no.
D.
Think about the best teams. OKC, no. Indiana, no. Denver, no. Lakers, no.
I
Dylan Brooks is
mean,
the best.
I don't think so.
Yes, he is. If you can't name someone,
Like,
then he is. He's a great defender, probably
does
top
does
five
like
defender in the
does
league.
McCall Bridges fall under that? I'll take Bridges over him.
He is
There's
no.
what about OG? What about OG from New York and Anobi?
Give me Dylan Brooks.
Really?
Yes. Give me
I would
Dylan
need to go
Brooks.
through a list. I would.
Dylan Brooks is the
I'm not
best.
gonna.
You
I
heard it
don't.
first. Garage closing. Dylan Brooks is the best
No,
player in the NBA,
you're hearing it from Jonah. Stop it.
And Vinny can't find someone better.
I just said I'll take Bridges and I'll take OG just off the top
Really?
of my head. Off the top of my
No.
head, I would
They're
take those two.
they're not,
Absolutely.
I don't think so. They're not better.
They're not better.
No. Dylan Brooks is a top five defender in the league. What does he shoot from three? I don't know, probably like 39, 40%. He averages
Yeah,
like
let's say
16
does
points a
he does he
game.
qualify? Does he qualify as a 3 and D? I
I think he
mean,
shoots like nine threes a game. Probably makes three to four
let's
of them.
just look up his stats. Let's look it up because that's such a bold statement
But
to
it's
make.
also the locker room and the toughness he brings. He brings more to your team than a McCall Bridges.
I mean, he shot just about 40% this year. I'll give
See?
you that.
How many did he shoot?
But
Like
I'm
nine,
not gonna
huh?
sit here and say he's the best 3 and D in the league.
He's the best.
No, I mean,
Absolutely. Let me ask you this. If you're the Lakers, who says no? Austin Reeves straight up for Dylan Brooks.
no. Lakers do.
Are you kidding me? See, that's why you guys aren't winning. You guys, Dylan Brooks is better than Austin Reeves.
I'll
Absolutely.
guarantee you right now, Phoenix would make that trade now. They'd flip those two.
And make Austin Reeves your point guard, maybe just for a fit. But
Phoenix would
Dylan Brooks,
absolutely flip that. Dude, you can't.
ask LeBron
I
James who you'd
wish
rather have.
this
Ask
is when
Luka
I wish
Doncic.
I had Andrew on the pod right now
Ask
to
Luka
back me
Doncic. See,
up.
you ain't got no help this time. Dylan Brooks is the best, and he's better than Austin Reeves.
No, no,
He,
he's not.
if
No,
you
he's
put
not. No,
Dylan
he's not.
Brooks, the best 3D player in the league, on any contender, they
He
arguably
averaged
could win.
14 and 14, 3 and 1 this year, okay?
Yeah, he's what, first
That's
team
what
all
he
defense?
averaged. That's what he averaged.
I think he's first team, second team all defense.
And his contract
I
is
don't care about
4 years.
contract.
Why? Why are we going to talk about
Bro,
it?
McCall Bridges makes a lot of money too.
Yeah, he does, and he's a better player.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is because
He has
the
more of an
difference was,
offensive bag. I'll give him that.
bro, the difference was when he was in Brooklyn for that team that wasn't very good, he was averaging 25, 26 a game.
Yeah, that's what
Brooks couldn't do that.
he has a better offensive bag. But Dylan Brooks is a better winner, and you
You're
need him on a
paying
championship team.
4 years, $86 million is what Dylan Brooks is making.
He should. He should.
Really?
He deserves it. He is
He
so
averages
good, Vinny.
14.
He is so good, I promise you. The Lakers would win
No,
the championship if they had Dylan Brooks instead of Austin Reeves
no, I don't believe that.
and a decent big man.
I don't believe that.
And a decent big man.
I think the big man for sure. I'm not trading Austin Reeves.
If
I'm
you
not saying
had
I wouldn't trade Austin Reeves for anything. I think there's
if
some
you
trades out there, but not Dylan
if
Brooks.
you got rid
He
of Austin
shouldn't even be a conversation.
If you got rid of Austin Reeves on the Lakers and you added Dylan Brooks and Isaiah Hartenstein, I promise you're winning the finals.
Stop.
I
Just stop right there.
promise.
By the way, I'm taking Lou Dort over Dylan Brooks. That's a 3 and
Nope,
D guy.
nope, nope,
I'm
nope,
taking
nope,
Caruso over him. That's a
nope,
3 and D guy because
nope.
Caruso has evolved into a
Crusoe
3 and
doesn't
D guy.
start.
He can shoot. He can shoot.
Crusoe doesn't start. If you don't start, you're not in that
That team is
conversation.
loaded in Oklahoma City.
So he's worse than Lou Dort. He plays behind him. And Lou Dort's not better.
Yes, he is.
No,
I'm
he's
taking
not.
Lou Dort. I
Dylan
would
Brooks
take
is
Lou
better
Dort.
on offense, and he's just as good a defender, just as strong.
Stop. Just stop now
Lou
while you
Dort
can.
airballed like three times in the game yesterday. Don't tell me about Lou Dort.
Dylan Brooks in the 2023 playoffs tried to bully LeBron, and you know what LeBron did? He made him very quiet. Okay, he
Okay.
made sure to prove that he's not all that.
You know who Dylan Brooks is? I have a perfect,
Mm.
I have a perfect
According to you, he's the
comparison.
best 3 and D player in the league, but he's not.
He's Tony Allen with the jumper of our generation.
Tony Allen's a much better defender. Stop it.
He's Tony
You
Allen
think
with the jumper.
Kobe said Tony Allen gave him the hardest time. Okay, no one's saying that about Dylan
Bro,
Brooks.
because they're
That's
still
coming from
playing.
Kobe.
I guarantee when LeBron retires, he's like, yeah, Dylan Brooks with a tough matchup. When Kevin Durant
By the
retired.
way, I don't like the narrative you say about like if you don't start, you're not good. Like Crusoe, he played 32 minutes in Game 7.
I didn't say he's not good. I'm saying don't put him in the conversation as the best if you're not a starter.
I think it is. If you put a poll out there, you know what? We're gonna put a poll out there. How many people would take Dylan Brooks over Alex Crusoe?
All the basketball heads. It's gonna be recency bias because you just saw Alex Russo win and Dylan Brooks have been out of the playoffs.
Two-time
But
champion. Two-time.
Dylan Brooks can do everything Alex Russo can do. And Dylan Brooks was better in college. You see his what he did at Oregon?
I'm not gonna say that he wasn't better in college, but that's not the argument here. It doesn't matter what you did in college. What you
And
do right now, you have a two. You have a. You know that Alex Caruso was first team all defense before too. First team.
yeah, but not anymore.
Well, it's because he's. What do you mean not anymore? He's not starting. He's playing coming off the bench. He didn't play enough games this year either. He was hurt.
I would love to see Dylan Brooks's international stats when he plays for Canada. Because I'd imagine
He's not.
Lou Dort is on that team, and I guarantee Dylan Brooks has a bigger role.
I all I'm saying
I
is
think
that
Dylan Brooks is the second best Canadian. It's Shea and then Brooks on that team.
he played well in that Olympics. I won't say that, but I'm not. You're not gonna hear me praise Dylan Brooks. I'm not that guy.
What do you have against Dylan Brooks? Why won't you give him his credit?
I think that he does things for clicks. I think he says things just to get attention. And I think that he is a dirty player. I
He's
don't like
not a
dirty
dirty
players.
player.
He's not a dirty player. I could pull up a video right now of all the things he did.
I can't think of anything dirty he's done off the top of my head. He's physical.
I'm gonna pull
He's
up. I'm
not
gonna pull stuff
dirty.
up.
Not
I
dirty.
think he's a dirty player.
Chris Paul is a dirty player. I wouldn't say Dylan
Why
Brooks
you
is
always
dirty.
got to bring Chris Paul into stuff?
Chris
Why you?
Paul's a
Why do we got
dirty
to do that?
because he does
Let the
dirty
old
things.
man. Let the old man enjoy his off season. Come
Chris
on.
Paul's dirty.
All right, we're gonna put a poll out. All right, you rather have Alex Caruso, and yeah, you know what? It might be recency bias, but guess what? It's an NBA champion, Alex Caruso.
It's
Okay,
not just
would
Alex
you rather
Russo.
would you rather have Alex Caruso? Would you rather have Mikal Bridges? Would you rather have OG Anunoby, or would you rather have Dylan Brooks?
Dylan Brooks is the best 3-and-D player in
That's
the
off
league.
the top of my head. Those are off the top of my head. I mean,
Yeah, I can't
right
think of
there.
one. I'm I can't think of a better
That's where
one.
I'm at.
Out of those, the best is probably Mikal Bridges, just
Thank
because
you.
he has the best offensive back. But I'm not saying he's better than Brooks. I'm saying he's
Like,
probably
does
second.
Drew Holiday not? What about Derek White? What about these guys?
Ooh.
I mean, you got to have these guys in the conversation.
I think their best days are behind them.
Why? They just won the finals the year before. Derek
Drew,
White is not like that old.
Drew Holiday averages like 9 points a game. Derek
Well, it's
White is
because you
12.
have to understand the role he had in Boston. That was role is to strictly play defense. They had all those
And
offensive weapons.
I wouldn't say he's 3-and-D. He's not a 3-point shooter like that.
I don't know if Dylan Brooks is either.
Yes, he is. He shot
Okay.
40%. You just read it.
I mean, I would take Derek White over him absolutely.
But I think Dylan
You
Brooks
were
is more.
talking about him being a number 3 option on a podcast.
Yeah, I love
You don't
Derek
remember
White.
that?
I love Derek White. But I
Okay.
think Dylan Brooks is a little more versatile defender because he's bigger and stronger. So
What about
he can
what
guard a
about Jalen
LeBron James.
Williams?
He can guard a
What about
LeBron James.
Jalen Williams? Is he not? He
He's
doesn't
not
fit
a 3
there.
and D. No, he's a star.
Why can't you be both? Why can't you be both? That
He's
means you're
not
just a
3 and
really
D.
good
He
3 and D.
no, he gets in his bag too much to be 3 and D. Klay
Like
Thompson.
there's
Klay Thompson's the best 3-and-D player probably
Clay
of
had a
all time.
bag too. You can't disrespect the bag that
No,
Clay
bro.
had.
Klay was the best
Yes, he
3-and-D
did.
player. Klay is the best 3-and-D player ever.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I disagree with that. I mean, his prime was ridiculous what he did. No
Yes.
question.
And Dylan Brooks is the best right now.
No, you just said
Yes.
McCall Bridges is better.
But I don't think McCullough is a 3-and-D player.
All right, you
He's
know
like
what?
he's a
We're putting a
wing.
poll out. We're gonna put a poll out. All right,
It has
like
to be 3-and-D. There's a difference. It's not just the best player. 3-and-D,
I
like
know
a
that.
role.
I think Derek White falls in that category,
He does, but
and
that's
he's
tough.
better, and he's a better player.
That's tough.
Absolutely, he's a better player.
I don't know. I don't know. They're very
You
close.
don't know. I don't. I don't know about that. I'm just trying to go through anybody else. What about like a
I'm very curious where Andrew would fall on this. I think he likes Dylan Brooks. I think he might be on my side.
really?
I think so.
What about McDaniel's in Minnesota?
No, nope. Dylan
No,
Brooks is better. Telling you. That's a
I don't know
championship
about all
winning
that.
player. Get him in a good situation. and
What
they're
about does Powell? Does Norman Powell fall under that?
no. Can he even defend? I don't even think he's a good defender. I don't think
I'm
he
just
plays
trying to
defense
name.
at all.
I'm just trying to name some guys.
I never heard him being a good defender.
Well, I'm just gonna sit here and I named a few guys that I think are better. And by the way, that just shows there's not a lot of very good 3D guys out there. It seems like
Bro,
you either got
that
one or the other. That's
that
why
is
it's
the
so hard to
toughest.
get.
That's the toughest like player to find in recruiting too as
And
a college
they're
basketball
so
coach.
important too.
Trying
They're
to
so
find a
important.
3 and D player is
Oh, is it really?
crucial. That's probably the
Let,
hardest.
all right, we're gonna go off topic a little bit because you brought up recruiting. Is it? Can you sense that as a high school kid? Like you think guys that we just named, the Bridges of the world, the Dylan
Yeah.
Brooks, those guys. You think in high school they already like were getting looked at like this guy can be a 3 and D
No,
guy,
see, that's why it's so hard. Because Dylan
or is
Brooks,
that something you can
and
grow into?
yeah, you have to develop. In high school, Dylan Brooks is a star. In college, he's a star. He's not a
Right.
3 and D. So like
Exactly.
when we're recruiting, like you're probably the best player on your team, whether it's high school or JUCO. So it's like you're not really just standing on the wing waiting for the ball. So then when you get to whatever school you go to, that kind of develops. Like the best players on the team form into the stars, and then people develop into 3 and D. But finding someone to recruit that is very difficult. You develop into that.
Got you. Well, there's some insight from a college basketball coach right there, ladies
Sir.
and gentlemen.
Play defense and shoot threes.
That's where the game's at now. I don't know if it's for the better, but that's where the game's at. Um, All right, so yeah, we'll put a poll out. That's what we got for NBA Finals talk. Kevin Durant trade. Who won the trade? Everyone? Do you think it was Houston? Do you think it was Phoenix? What's in store now for the rest of the NBA? NBA offseason going to get going pretty quick. Turn on your Shams Twitter notifications for sure.
Yeah.
That's going to be going off soon. So
And talking about OKC just won the finals.
yeah,
Denver won last year. It's been different every year. So I have a little quiz for you, Vinny. I
okay.
know you're a basketball historian, and I've seen on Twitter people trying to name the past NBA champions, and they can only go like 5, 6 years. If I did it, I could probably get to like the Lakers, Toronto, then I start struggling. I want to see go year by year. How far can you
Backwards,
go back? From 2025, go backward.
backwards.
Name the NBA champion, and I'm gonna make it harder for you. Try and name the Finals MVP as well.
Ooh, I think I could do better. Finals MVP, I can try. I think I could do teams for a while. Finals MVP could be hard. Even the opponent I maybe could do. So you want me to do a champion and Finals MVP?
Yeah, just go
All
winner
right. How about
and try
this?
and do Finals MVP.
If I get the team right and I don't get the Finals MVP, let me rebuttal and try to get the opponent. How about that? Who they played
Uh,
against.
you could
But I'll
just
try to do.
let
Yeah.
me
Okay.
let
You
me
got to
pull up
pull
the
it up.
list. All right, go ahead because I know the first couple.
Okay. So we're going backwards, right?
From 2025
Okay. Thunder, Shea Gilgis
MVP.
Alexander.
Uh-huh.
Then we got Celtics,
Uh-huh.
and we got was it Jalen Brown?
Yes.
Okay. Then we went to Denver, Jokic.
hmm
2022 Golden State, Steph.
hmm
2021 Milwaukee, Giannis.
hmm
2020 Lakers, LeBron.
hmm
Raptors, Kawhi Leonard.
hmm
Back to back years, I believe, were Golden State, both Kevin Durant.
Yes.
Cleveland, LeBron James.
hmm
Golden State again, our boy Andre Iguodala.
Yep. Andre Iguodala. The worst
2014, we
Finals
got
MVP.
2014 San Antonio. Was that Kawhi?
Mhm.
Kawhi. So he's a two-time Finals MVP.
Yeah.
Okay. 2013 and 2012 were LeBron in Miami.
hmm
Then we got Dirk in for Dallas.
hmm
Now we're at 2010.
Yes.
Lakers, Kobe in 2009. 2008, we got Boston, Paul Pierce.
Paul Pierce.
2007, I know is San Antonio, and I know they beat Cleveland, but was Was it Timmy D Finals MVP?
I don't have a list of Finals MVP, but
Okay.
I
I know they beat Cleveland. I know San Antonio beat Cleveland.
yeah.
I don't know off the top of my head who I would guess Tim Duncan, but I
I
mean it
don't
could
know.
have been
I don't
Tony.
know how many
Could have been
Finals
Tony
MVPs
Parker. I don't
Duncan
know.
has. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Parker might have got one.
Okay, so I'll rebuttal with they beat Cleveland.
Yeah.
2006 was Wade in Miami. 2005 was San Antonio again.
Hmm.
I'm just gonna take. I think Manu maybe has one.
Yeah.
I think Manu has one. I don't know what year though. So I'll rebuttal and say they beat New Jersey. No, Detroit. They beat Detroit.
Detroit.
2005 they beat Detroit because in 2004 Detroit beat the Lakers with Chauncey Billups.
Man, I didn't know Detroit made it back-to-back years.
Yeah, they did. And it was game 7. I do know that
Yeah.
because yeah. So they 2005 San Antonio, 2004 Detroit with Chauncey Billups, 2003 with San Antonio again. See, the Finals MVP is harder for me, but I know that they beat New Jersey in 2003. So there's my rebuttal. 2001 or sorry, 2002 Lakers beat New Jersey with Shaq. Shaq won 3 in a row.
Hmm.
So you got Shaq in 02, 01, and 2000. Lakers three-peat. 99 San Antonio again. And it was either Duncan or Robinson for the Finals MVP, but they beat, I believe, the Knicks.
Yeah. I want to say it was Duncan.
Okay, so now we got the three-peat Bulls with Jordan for 98, 97, 96. 95 and 94 was Houston with Hakeem. 90 no backward now we're back to the three-peat 93, 92, and 91 with Michael, the
Hmm.
Bulls. 90 and 89 we got Detroit with Isaiah. They beat, I think it was Isaiah Thomas back to back, yeah. So I think they beat Portland in 90.
Yes.
They beat the Lakers in 89.
Yes.
Then
4-0.
we got the then we yeah, they
You
swept
you
them.
4-0'd Magic?
Yeah, because Kareem retired the next year.
Dang, okay, Isaiah.
Um, but the year before that, Lakers beat Detroit, didn't they?
And 7
And I
though.
believe, yeah, it was, and I believe that was a James Worthy Finals MVP. But I'll take the rebuttal with I know they beat Detroit. 87 Lakers Celtics. Lakers won. I believe that was a Magic Johnson Finals MVP. 80, where are we at? 1986.
86.
That would be a Larry Bird Finals MVP with the Celtics. 85 Lakers over Celtics. I think that was Magic. I'm not sure, but I know they beat the Celtics. 84 was Celtics over Lakers. Bird. 83 Philadelphia over the Lakers.
Hmm.
Dr. J. 82 Lakers over Sixers. That one I don't know if it was Magic. But I know they beat the Sixers. 81 was Boston. Was it over the Houston Rockets?
Hmm.
And 80 was the infamous Magic Johnson Game 6. Started at center, finished at guard. Rookie wins the Finals MVP over Philadelphia. 1979 is maybe where I lose it. I want to say Seattle.
Hmm.
Was it Seattle?
The Supersonics.
The Supersonics. I have no idea who they played. I just, for some reason, felt that I had a feeling they won in 79.
They beat the
Don't know
Washington
who
Bullets.
the Washington Bullets. Was that an ABA team?
I don't know.
I don't know. Okay. 70. Okay. So I still got the Sonics. 78. That's where I'm probably going to lose it. I'll do the Rockets.
It was a
Okay.
rematch. The Bullets beat the Supersonics.
Okay. So I got it to 1979.
79. And almost every final MVP too.
That's crazy.
Very impressive, Vinny. Not a lot of people
How
could
many
do
years
that.
is that? How many years is that? 46?
20,
45?
45 years.
45 years. There we
45
go.
years. You just went through the history of the NBA.
I did. Hey, if anyone can top that, let me know. I want to see it.
Yeah, I
And by
doubt.
the way, I got no notes written down. Phone is closed. Okay. I got nothing. That was off the top of the dome. I feel like I knew that just because I feel like it was easy from 2025 to 2000 was easy because that was like my
Yeah.
time. The 90s was pretty easy because you had two
Jor-
three-peats in there.
Yeah, Jordan
So
and
like
Akeem.
yeah, yeah, you had 8 championships right there. And then the 80s I only am good at because just my dad, Showtime Lakers, I grew up just hearing about, the Lakers, Boston, and I watched the that TV show, the Winning Time with the Lakers, that Showtime show.
Yeah,
So like that had some history there. So that was just off the top of the head. So
very impressive. Very
that
impressive.
was pretty good. I don't think Drew could do that.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Drew not doing that.
Drew's not making it to Denver. He's tapping out.
Yeah, I've probably missed some of the Finals MVPs just with San Antonio, but I knew all the opponents, so that was good. That was
Yeah.
pretty fun.
I don't know how many Finals MVPs Duncan has.
I don't either.
He has
You know what?
five
Let's just
rings.
let's
I
just
would I
see.
would guess I think he only has like two Finals MVPs.
I think he has more because I think there's an argument if he has more than Kobe because they both have 5 rings, but he has more Finals MVPs. Let's just look.
Because
So
Kawhi
he
got
won it.
one.
So he's got three. So he had 99, 2003, and 2005. So
And
the
then
one that I missed was 2007.
it
And
was
I
either
think it
Manu
was
or Tony
I think it
Parker.
was Manu. I think it was Manu.
Was he coming off the bench winning Finals MVP?
I think he was. Let me see though. No, it was Tony. It was Tony
Tony
Parker.
Parker.
He was the first European player to ever win the Finals MVP. Second member of the Spurs to do so, other than Tim Duncan. So they've only had three in franchise history.
David
Kawhi.
Robinson never won?
Nope. It says at the time he was the only second member of the Spurs to do it. So it would have been Timmy D, Tony Parker, Kawhi, and then who knows? Maybe a Wemby will be there someday.
Man.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Man, Durant should have went to the Spurs. That would have been the best move.
Who knows? Maybe Giannis. That's gonna be the interesting thing for the
Yeah,
offseason,
that's
I
true.
think. What happens with Giannis?
But I don't know if Giannis is leaving.
I don't know either. But that can shift the entire league.
Yeah. But if I'm him, I'm staying East. The East is so wide
I
open.
would too, 100%. But I don't know if Milwaukee would do that because he
Or
didn't have a no trade
Miami.
clause. But if Milwaukee was smart, they would do right by him since he delivered you that championship,
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
know? So we'll see. But yeah, let us know if you guys can beat me in that little trivia game.
I don't think so. That was tough.
But I think we got through a lot of NBA talk, NBA
Yeah.
finals, offseason going to kick off. So with the offseason, we have some other plans. We're going to try to orchestrate some other topics. I know we've been a lot of basketball, but we're probably going to try to, football season is going to get going. So we're going to try to talk some football. We're going to get some more guests on this summer for sure. We did release some videos of us playing open gym. If you guys haven't seen, we're going to have more videos of that coming out with full court. We posted some half court clips. Um, so keep an eye for that. But we also are still planning that one-on-one Andrew versus Jonah. That's going to be a big event this summer for us. We didn't do it last time we were together in open gym, which was about a week and a half ago, because we're waiting for Jaime and Daniel to be able to be there. And we think that schedules will align for it to be sometime in July. So keep an eye out for that. We're going to try to get Drew and Jonah mic'd up. That's going to be
Oh
that's
yeah.
going to be fun. We don't know exactly the day yet, but Jaime should be coming to the States soon to California to do some stuff for his personal things he's got to do, but he's also going to make some time to go to the gym with us and film that. And also with Jaime in California, Dan still in the States before he goes back for volleyball, we're going to try to do an in-person podcast, the five of us, just like how we used to do it in the garage. So that be on the lookout for that too. And then we'll also sprinkle in some guests that we've been, reaching out to, trying to see when they're available. So, any closing
Definitely.
thoughts here, Jonah?
Yeah, just stay tuned for that in person and let us know if you got a team or you want to play us one on one. We accept all challenges. We're not hiding. Call us out by name and we'll
Yeah.
make it happen. We'll get you mic'd up and everything. We'll play.
Yeah, we didn't talk about it too much today, just because I know that's a conversation we want to talk about with Drew on the podcast. But I will say we did play for 2 days, and we didn't lose a single game. Whether it was 5-on-5, 3-on-3, only game I lost was when Jonah hit that half court shot. So
Yeah, I'm undefeated.
I had to do 20 push-ups. By the way, who did better push-ups? Was it me or Drew?
Mm, I don't know. I wasn't worried about the losers doing push-ups. I was celebrating my win. I
Yeah,
was with
I
y'all.
already know the answer to it. But yeah, that was fun. We didn't lose. We usually don't lose a lot of games.
Never.
Um,
No.
so
If any. If any.
if any, so
I
yeah, if you
don't
guys want the smoke, let us know. We can always make time to. I'll always make a time to make a trip back to Camarillo to run it against anybody. So
yeah, absolutely.
I know Jonah do the same, even though he's in Merced. He'll make the trip down too.
Yeah. If you're in Merced in Merced too, let me know. We'll
Yeah,
play.
hey, if you're in Northern County of San Diego, hit me up on IG because I'll run it at 24-hour fitness in Escondido. Okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Jonna, that was good. Our first time doing a two-man podcast. Thought we did pretty well.
Yes,
We're hoping
sir.
to get Drew back next episode. And we're also hoping maybe to get another guest in. We'll see. Like I said, keep an eye out for the in-person podcast with Jaime, the one-on-one event with Jonah and Drew. All that will be coming up. NBA season's over. Off season going to kick underway. And yeah, got a lot in store. This was episode 12, and stay tuned for episode 13. Till then, the garage is closed.